let's assume that Vice President Harris wins the election in November and she becomes president. What companies and what industries would do good as a result of her becoming president?
Great question. Please listen and write these down.
Please.
Visa, American Express, Uber, shout to Dar.
You don't say.
Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. If you want the Democratic Queen Kamala play, Visa, American Express, Uber, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia. Finito. That's all you need. That's all I will say. Look, paying in. I'm telling you these are going to do well. And meanwhile, Visa continues to make newer highs. It hit a high earlier this year. It's close to breaking that. American Express is doing well. Its personal debt is going up. You probably can throw Lily into that list as well. But Visa for sure. Uber for sure. American Express for sure. Microsoft for sure. You'll be A-okay. If she wins, those will do incredibly well over the next 4 or 8 years, hands down.
I will agree with that. And I will also say infrastructure. So industrials. I think if you listen to what she's saying, home building, new homes, that's going to take infrastructure. That's going to take, in fact, they have an infrastructure bill, right?
Yeah.
That the previous administration has laid out. And so I would imagine she would want to continue that infrastructure bill. I think the semis will do well because, again, there's been a CHIPS Act that's been laid out by the previous administration, and you're going to make sure that goes through. And we understand the battle that we have with China. In fact, that was a part of the conversation too. That was a real part of the conversation. It was like, we have to win this battle. We have to win this battle at all costs. How do we do it? We bring infrastructure here. We bring foundries here. We make sure that we're producing here.
It's necessary.
I like those two sectors inside of that administration.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you just left DC. You want to tell us what Pelosi told you?
Shout out to Pelosi.
A legend. And
Shout out to the legend.
And
Nancy.
ETFs too. So I just add that last part. So shout out to BlackRock.
I love you.
There are industrial ETFs, and so I mean, you can just type that in, and it'll give you the top 15 performing ones. But if you don't want to invest in singular companies, do the sector.
Yeah,
do the sector.
So, what are some major trends and risks that investors should be watching as we approach the 2025 market?
Sector rotation is something I want retail investors to stop focusing on. I think I hate to say it, but like altcoins having a long-term return is going to get throttled as BlackRock dominates more in that Bitcoin and Ethereum space. And then I know there's going to be a lot of companies that are going to predict that they're going to be the next leader in quantum computing to try and jump the AI race. There's only going to be 2 or 3 winners in the quantum computing space. I think those have already been selected. What do I know? I'm just a guy on YouTube talking. But I think Nvidia and Google are going to lead, and Microsoft are going to lead there as well. So when everyone is saying this is the next thing that is coming, be mindful that until you start to see the kind of press that Sam has had with Oprah and the rollout, most people don't know. Quantum computing isn't locked in yet, but I think it's probably the most important sector over the next 4 or 5 years. And we're going to see a major correction in a lot of industries at one time. Banking, financials, industrial, even the Russell 2000. Russell 2000. Can you name me 20 companies in the Russell 2000 you'll put money into?
No.
There has to be a lot of course correction. And even Michael Dell selling off $800 million worth of shares after he got into the S&P. I'm like, I'm not mad at him for doing so, but I think the timing of it was very interesting. I think there's going to be a shift in policy by 2025, 2027. If they finally do announce a recession. It may be like a niche recession, but I think there's going to be, they're going to play with the words, right? And say, well, we had a recession in these segments of the market, but the rich got richer. Be mindful of the sectors that they're telling you to invest in that are actually uninvestable. So I feel terrible if somebody's trying to kill me in the bushes and I couldn't get out of my stock. I was like, yeah, why you playing? That's like when the video was going crazy and you locked out of the Schwab account, like, bruh, let me sell.
Man went in the bushes. Just crazy. That's crazy. What sectors would you say are quote unquote uninvestable? Are there specific
I think
ones?
the majority of media right now is uninvestable because of rates. Like when rates are lower, shout out to all the media partners, love you guys dearly from Tayama, all that. But if rates stay at this level or even they drop a quarter of a basis point, the margins aren't wide enough.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. I was watching a clip. Charlemagne was saying something very similar. He was like, the model of media has to be broken, has to be shaken.
Has to be changed.
In fact, it isn't like I have this piece of content, here, buy it from me, and now I get a talent fee. It's a new model.
Yeah, it has to
We
be.
have the content, we're creating the content. You can work with us if you want, but we're still going to get this thing out.
Yeah.
There's a shift there.
Huge shift. And I know a lot of you guys are commenting on it while not having great content. But my thing has always been in the content space. When they have you fighting over talent and not equity, mistake. Like Sirius paid all that money for Call Her Daddy. Can you name me 4 other shows on Sirius right now? Mistake.
Howard Stern's still over there? Howard Stern's still over there?
Yeah, I think so.
$1 billion.
Hanging on by a leg.
I don't even think he doesn't even. He's just password.
Yeah. So
legend though. Legend.
I think that it needs to be a major overhaul just in a few of these spaces, and that's definitely media is definitely one of them. I wouldn't invest in media right now.
So we got to watch Disney, Paramount, Discovery.
Netflix is the only player that I feel comfortable investing in long term on a publicly traded side.
Netflix. Okay,
For sure.
streaming.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.